Eloheinu Baksho Tov Loch Tefillah together, tzedakah together, and usually Dvar Torah, but as I always Friday I want to share a story. And this week Shabbos Parshas B'Shalach, Shabbos Shira, as we spoke this week earlier about the special role of the women's song, how the women express their gratitude and their appreciation for God's miracles. So let me share with you two stories of two women. One a famous Rebbitzin, another one a simple woman. But both show the greatness, the quality, the exceptional holiness of both of those women. So a story is told about the Rebbitzin Sterne Sarah, whose Yortzeit was this week on the 13th day of Shvat. That is the mother of the previous Rebbe, the Rebbe Rayatz, Rebbe Yosef Yitzchak. When the previous Rebbe became Rebbe after the passing of his father, the Rebbe Rashab, obviously a son, an only son actually he was, took extreme care of his mother. At one time he was going for vacation, quote unquote vacation, it was actually a sanatorium somewhere in Eastern Europe. And he took his mother along with him. There was a great Rav, the great Goen, an exceptional leader, was called the Munkach Rav. The Rav of Munkach, the Minchas Elazar. In fact, the Rebbe was very fond of him, would quote him often. Minchas Elazar was already an elderly Rav, frail, not seeing very well. And the Rebbe Sterne Sarah very much wanted to see him. So she asked her son to organize for her to be able to see him. So he told her that, but he doesn't receive women. He says, I don't need him to receive me. I don't want to talk. I don't need to take him. I just want to see him. I want to see this holy tzaddik. I heard so much about him. I just want to see a holy face. So the Rebbe said, no problem. I'm scheduled to go for a walk with him in the park. You'll stand behind a tree, and since I'm anyway going to support him on the walk, he's elderly and frail, so when we come close to that tree, I'm going to slow down even more, and this way you'll have an opportunity to see him. And so they did. And when the Rebbe came close to the tree with the Munkach Rav, suddenly the Munkach Rav asked the previous Rebbe, what kind of tree is this? What kind of fruit is it giving? He couldn't see well. And the Rebbe told him, actually, it's not a fruit-bearing tree, it's a barren tree. It's just a tree with branches and leaves. And he turns around to the Rebbe and he says, I smell over here the reyach of Gan Eden. I smell over here the air of Gan Eden, of paradise. He was not aware that it wasn't the tree, that it was the Rebbe who was standing right there. But he did smell holiness. Holy people. Just heard a story today. A woman from Ofakim. Ofakim is one of the cities that was strongly affected on October 7. A simple woman, unknown, so to say. Apparently not so involved in Yiddishkeit either. But on that day, she was going back and forth and saving people. Driving back and forth and saving as many people as she could. Lately, she was part of a group that came to the States, organized by the Israeli government to meet with politicians, to meet with dignitaries, and explain to them exactly what happened and what's happening. And she was scheduled to meet the US President, Joe Biden himself. Before meeting Joe Biden, obviously, paparazzi, reporters. And as I said, this is a simple woman, not a lecturer, not a great, let's just say, until now unknown. So she was asked by one of the reporters, do you feel anxious? Do you feel excited about going to meet the President of the United States? You're living in a tiny little village in Israel. Ofakim, under normal circumstances, you do not have the opportunity to meet dignitaries, especially such as the President of the United States. And she says, no, I don't feel any special excitement. I'm not nervous. He says, why? And she looks at him and she says, because I saw God every moment of the day. Every time I saved another person was another miracle. I saw God. And if you see God, you don't get impressed of any mortal. You don't get impressed even of the United States of America, President of the United States of America. Holy women. Oibishter, just in the merit of these holy women, we already deserve for Mashiach to come before Shabbos.